for a community moment. If you are new to Oasis, we take about 10 minutes out of every Sunday and allow someone from our community to come up and share. Today, we are hearing from Jordan McKinney, and when I asked him for 3 words to describe himself, he had nothing. So I had to go to his wife, who with the help of Joshua Hyde gave me these 3 words to describe Jordan: pale, soulful, ginger. And his warning label, according to his wife Mandy, was start a timer, because he's going to talk far too long. Without further ado, if you would welcome Jordan.
I had no idea what they were going to say. If you ever do a community moment and you can have people just make something up for you, I highly recommend it. Pale and ginger are basically the same thing. You guys gotta be a little more creative. Well, without any further ado, I'm going to set my timer, honey. Done. All right. I wanted to talk a little bit today because we're coming up on a big anniversary in my family's life, which is that next month will mark 1 year of us participating pretty fully in Oasis. And just to understand why that's such a big deal to all of us is because you can imagine there's about probably a good solid 10 years now of life that Andy and I spent together. We just celebrated 3 years of Olivia being in the world, our daughter, and so it really kind of puts it into perspective how long we had to feel the way that we do about the world, about spirituality, about religion. How long we had to feel that way about always having to censor something or hold something back in our conversations with our families, in our conversations even with some of our friends who were believers, because we knew what the potential consequences might be. I thought it best if I kind of approached some things by introducing you guys a little bit to what I do for, kind of on the business side of things, the Monday through Friday gig that sometimes eats up my Saturdays and occasionally my Sundays as well. So in my other life, I'm an admission counselor at its most base. I work for a college in Liberty, the college in Liberty, I guess you could say. And it's interesting because it was a Baptist school, it was founded as a Baptist school, and I go to work every day in an environment that definitely leans, Christian. That presents a lot of challenges itself. I'm just fortunate that I have a chance to go and study religions in a secular and an academic environment, so I do have a pretty high tolerance for religious discussions. That's fine. It's all part of being sensitive and being sensitive to the needs of others as well. But I didn't just sort of fall out of the sky and end up at Jewel, which is the college I work for. I came there from corporate America first. And the thing about corporate America that really just killed me is that you're not allowed really to have a heart. If you work in an office environment right now, small or large, if you work in a corporate environment, small or large, there's something I guarantee that you've dealt with. You've dealt with a lot of corporate initiatives. You've gotten a lot of jazz from people in charge about what to do and how to do it. And I don't know who originally said this, but it's one of the most important leadership lessons I've ever had to learn in my life. If you tell people what to do and how to do it, you're no better than a prison warden. If you tell people what the end goal is and let them put together their artistry on how to get there, sit back and watch amazing things happen. Since I don't know who actually said that, we'll just go ahead and say, we'll go ahead and attribute it to Josh Hyde. We'll call it. Way to go, Josh, you sage. Yeah. So I am definitely inherently distrustful of corporate leadership. Everything has to go through a series of sort of proving grounds for me before my trust is won and before I start engaging with any kind of organization on any meaningful level. If I'm going to put my time into it, then it needs to be something I can trust. And when you have bosses who, are really trying to be, that next level, we're gonna raise the training of this team. We're gonna enhance our build capacity, and we're gonna, create efficiencies, and we're gonna eliminate harmful redundancies. You hear all these buzzwords and catchphrases going around. It's really hard to trust. You see a lot of bosses that just don't get that done. And you talk to your colleagues, the people you do trust, the people you do care about, the people who are serving right next to you, and you hear how they talk about it too. They don't like it. They don't believe that that's actually taking them anywhere worthwhile. And sometimes you get a boss that gives you homework assignments and reading material. And that's where I have to say, I'm really lucky. I have a boss right now that gives me homework assignments and reading material to go work on, but he doesn't give me any deadlines. He just says, here's something I think you should check out. Check it out on your time. And he did that for me, and that was the first time I'd ever read a book about leadership or business theory or anything like that that actually made real sense. And so I wanted to tell you a little bit about it today because I think it kind of relates to Oasis. It's a very simple title. It's called The Goal. And I'm going to save you all a whole lot of time that I spent on reading this. It really does boil down to one key sentence that's in this book, which is, just to explain a little bit, when we think about a business, we think about a lot of different things. Your boss thinks about efficiency. Your boss thinks about a positive culture, and they talk about it in such a way that you think that's the goal of that business. Well, we're talking about, increasing our efficiency or reducing our time to deliver. Every day, we're getting another email from another boss, or maybe even several bosses saying, guys, we really got to bring this number down, or hey guys, we really need to see this go up. To the point where you feel like your daily existence is just basically there to provide shareholder returns or cut a number, inflate a number. And that's why it gets really hard to follow. The culture thing, if you ever want a case study in how to kill a culture, a corporate culture, go study a business that has tried to create one. It's really that simple. At one of my companies, they invented a word to be a value. Some people argue with me that this isn't a word. I don't think it's a word, I'm sorry, but boundaryless. They wanted employees to be boundaryless, and I sort of felt like boundless is definitely a word that we could have used. And it still blows my mind in that organization that they didn't have someone like we have, Lisa Phillips, to edit these things and smack us over the back of the head. Well, that's not a word. We're really lucky to have that. The goal of any business is to make money. I mean, you go in every day and you hear about all these different initiatives and drives and things like that are designed to do something other than make money. At the end of the day, we have to realize that we're clocking in to make money, and that business is there every day to make money. And the really frustrating thing for me was, I knew that, you knew that, but we never talk about it. Why don't we ever just recognize that that is the reason for us incorporating in the first place? And that's what this book really talks about. The subtitle is A Process of Ongoing Improvement. And so ultimately, I read that book and I started to understand that your people are a resource, your time is a resource. These things are things that need to be included in your inventory. And if you're constantly chasing efficiencies and numbers, then you're completely neglecting what you're there for in the first place. And so when I started getting more involved with Oasis as an organization, that was when I started to kind of try to apply some of these same concepts. So what do we know about Oasis? Well, in a sense, Oasis is also here to make money. But the difference between a corporation and Oasis is the reasons why. And that was where we got beyond what the book covers. The book doesn't have to talk about why the business wants to make money. The book only needs to talk about how to do it the right way, how to take good care of your people, how to actually look at what your company does in every link of the chain, from the beginning of an idea to the finished product that goes out on the shelves or that the public gets to digest. So with Oasis, though, we do get the opportunity to look at why. And why is this organization here? That's a really difficult question to answer. So for me, the only answer I can give is the only one I know, which goes back to my family, the most important thing I have in my life. Honestly, whenever I check my child into that daycare room, she's going in to work with, on one day, you know, a guy who has Batman written on his name tag and who I see rolling around on the floor. I've seen Gil carrying 4, 5, and 6 kids around just everywhere. Melanie, what can't you say about how amazing Melanie is and what she does for all her kids? You could write a book on how much better she's made the lives of all of those kids in there every single Sunday we come here. I know that my child is going to get to participate in at least one environment where every time she goes in there, she doesn't have to worry about being criticized for what she believes. You know, right now, that means that the alternative is her just, you know, coloring and throwing stuff, getting her boogers wiped off at some point. That's valuable. She just gets to be a kid. She just gets to be her. And when I think about coming into this organization every single day, I realize that the reason this organization needs to make money is because of the fact that there are a lot of people who are less fortunate than I have been. And there's my timer. A lot of people who've been less fortunate than I have been. Some people have been utterly burned out by religion. Some people haven't. Some people just always wanted the opportunity to think freely and be a part of a group where they could share that with each other in a simple hug or a few words of encouragement. We get to be a part of a community where as soon as somebody needs help, there's literally, as Galen said, a flurry of responses. There's a flood that comes your way of support and help and encouragement that you cannot believe. That's why it was okay to jump in this organization more so than any that I've ever been in. So, in closing, I want to ask you all to consider doing the same. Consider being a part of this group. You know how? Maybe you've been waiting for a good reason why. And I'd urge you to just take a look in the child care room and look at what the future of this organization is going to get to be, not have to be, not have it forced upon them, but what it's going to get to be in the future. And consider stopping by the back table today and giving maybe just a little bit extra money or whatever you can possibly spare. Consider just coming in a little bit earlier to set up chairs or to help plug some things in or to set out the donuts for someone else. Consider going out there and helping with one of the many midweek initiatives that we have. And, you know, if you got $10 each month you can set aside for it, sign up to have it taken care of for you automatically. Fill out a donor form and make it official. Because those are the things that are going to make this possible in other cities all across the United States. We're already seeing it. We're already seeing it. John DeLynn was here to tell us that in Utah, they're going to do this. And that's amazing. And he talked about how inspiring we were in that. And your money, your donation, and your time makes all of that possible. Thank you guys for being my friends. Thank you all for being trustworthy and having a heart. Thank you all for helping take care of my kid. Thank you all for being the amazing people you are. And I'm very, very thankful on this day that I get to be a part of Oasis. Thanks for your time and enjoy your day.